Uma nova zona cocaleira foi implantada no Peru, nesta região do Baixo Amazonas. Os seguidores dessas seitas, que nós cremos serem fanáticos, estão plantando coca.
Antes no era así, esto era libre, no había habitantes.
This is a Coca Plantation here in the lower Amazon basin, an area where 10 years ago this crop and this cultivation was completely unknown. Welcome to Iquitos, Peru, right on the Amazon River, deep in the Peruvian Rainforest. We're in an area that is close to the region where Colombia and Brazil meet Peru. This is an incredibly isolated place where you can only get to by plane or by boat. Right now, we're on our way to a pier on the river that's going to get us on a boat that's going to take us for 14 hours up this river in order to locate and meet a community known as the Ataucusi. They call themselves the Israelites.
Since 2013, Peru has become the world's leading producer of coca leaf and cocaine, replacing Colombia. Most of that coca is grown in the cool, high-altitude region of Peru known as the Vrai, the type of climate where coca traditionally thrives. But in the following years, as coca interdiction efforts applied more pressure on coca growers, Peru's Amazon basin suddenly became a choice spot, thanks to an apparently new variety of coca leaf that is adapting to the Amazon's fragile ecosystem. It's not a place where crops were ever meant to be grown. But in 1995, a religious group known as the Ataucusi, or the Israelites, decided that this tropical rainforest would be its promised land. They came to settle and to introduce farming to the Amazon soil. Their prophet Ezekiel Ataucusi told them they would be Peru's living frontiers in the forgotten regions of the country that form the so-called triple border with Colombia and Brazil. Since then, the Ataucusi have lost their leader, and according to anti-drug authorities in Brazil, some members of the Israelites Church in the Amazon rainforest have been directly involved in the region's booming cocaine industry. So we decided to come here to try to figure out how much of these allegations are true and to see if we could get to know this reclusive and apocalyptic church. This journey felt a bit like stepping into a scene from the Werner Herzog film Fitzcarraldo. In fact, this is where it was filmed. The trip was slow and long. We were told it could take up to 2 days to get to our destination. At dawn, with almost another halfway to go, we met our first member of the Ataucusi church. It was pretty easy to spot her.
Es el gran rey de los reyes, aunque el mundo no lo crea. Amén. Demos gracias a Jehová.
This is a community that has separated itself from Peruvian society. They dress in biblical clothes, biblical costumes, and really they are isolated as they attempt to sort of establish their presence permanently in the Amazon as they conquer the Amazon rainforest. The riverboat left us on the dirt pier of Altomonte. The self-confessed Israelites are a peaceful people, but they are not exactly welcoming to outsiders. We had heard that every Friday they hold a ceremony on the banks of the river. If we played it right, maybe we could film it, but we had to ask for permission and keep a low profile upon arrival. This organization has a name that's as long as it is incomprehensible: the Evangelical Association of the Israelite Mission of the New Universal Covenant. Their spiritual capital is here in Altomonte, founded 20 years ago by people answering the call of their prophet Ezekiel to populate the borders of the Amazon.
Todos los israelitas somos trabajadores. Trabajaremos codo a codo en el agro para llevar a cabo con el desarrollo agropecuario.
They migrated from all across Peru, many fleeing economic hardships or the internal war with the Maoist guerrillas' shining path.
Que vengan todos aquí a Alto Monte de Israel para que así trabajen junto con nosotros y así aprendan muchas cosas así que en la selva. ¡Viva el proyecto de Fronteras Vivas!
Expectations were high.
Today, 7,000 people live in this remote community with no running water, paved streets, or cell phone coverage. They use solar generators for the little amount of electricity there is to go around. It doesn't quite look like the promised land that Ezekiel Altaucusi told them it would be.
Para poder entender a la congregación israelita del Nuevo Pacto Universal, uno tiene que estudiar en primer lugar al líder, al que lo fundó. Ezequiel Altaucusi Gamonal representa la naturaleza social, la composición social de los seguidores. Proceder de ámbitos de los Andes, de los valles interandinos, los más pobres de los pobres. Él toma contacto con las Sagradas Escrituras gracias a su vinculación con los adventistas, pero considera que los adventistas no están haciendo el trabajo adecuado para poder salvar al mundo de una hecatombe que va a venir. Dios se le estaba apareciendo todas las noches y lo entrenaba en la lectura de las Sagradas Escrituras. Y él cuenta que en un determinado momento es ascendido al tercer cielo. Y en el tercer cielo se encuentra con la Santísima Trinidad, con el Padre, el Hijo y el Espíritu Santo. Y le dicen que escriba los 10 mandamientos. Él logra ir congregando más adeptos para desarrollar esta misión y nace el movimiento de los israelitas del Nuevo Pacto Universal.
Juan Ocio told us the Altaucusi started to figure out the importance of politics as a means to achieve the goals of their church, so they created a political party known by its acronym FRPAP. Ezekiel ran for president on the FRPAP ticket in 1990, nabbing 200,000 votes, and succeeded in placing members of his party in Congress.
Usted dice ser profeta, ¿verdad? ¿Usted es profeta?
Ya lo ha dicho.
Dios lo ha dicho que usted es profeta.
Ezekiel ran again in 1995 and was preparing to run in 2000 when he suddenly died. The leader was supposed to have reincarnated the third day after his death, but to church members' surprise, that didn't happen. So the group decided that the spirit of Ezekiel must have had transmigrated to the body of his son, Jonas. A largely absent figure, Jonas doesn't even communicate with Altomonte. Despite their absent leader, the FRPAP movement remains alive today, with a base of voters still active in the jungle communities.
The sun is setting, the women are on one side, the men on another, and this is the sacrifice that is being offered on this Friday by the Israelites.